Introducing first, from Orlando, Florida, weighing in at 225 pounds, Jesse Neal.
And we are back here at FOW's Brawl at the Bull. What a great night it's been, JR. But we've seen some great action thus far, but no championship matches have been decided yet. Championship number 1 right here, the FOW International title on the line, as Johnny Vandal defends against former TNA star Jesse Neal.
Yeah, these are two great guys. This is going to be a great matchup. And of course, Johnny Vandal's getting ready to go to Japan. He wants to take the title over there and successfully defend it. I don't know. Jesse Neal's a great competitor. He might walk out of here with a championship gold.
Jesse Neal not only competing for himself, basically competing for the entire future of wrestling, because if he does not win the title here tonight, Johnny Vandal will spend the entire summer in Japan with the international title.
That's right, and there won't be any rematch until fall time, and I know Jesse wants to have that gold around his waist, so this is going to be a real interesting match.
Jesse Neal, of course, having great success in total nonstop action, not only with partner Shannon Moore and the King Tag Team, but you got to go back before that when he first came in, being trained by one of the greatest tag teams of all time, Team 3D, Brother Ray, Brother Devon, of course, being brought in by them. The guy has a ton of experience, absorbs everything like a sponge, and Jesse Neal the opportunity tonight to break out on his own and win some singles gold.
And it sounds like the crowd is solidly behind him, so hopefully he'll put all that experience to work and go home with a win.
The crowd white hot here for Jesse Neal, but of course Neal is the challenger.
That's right.
From Buffalo Town, Florida, weighing in at 185 pounds, he is the FOW International Champion, Johnny Vandal.
Here he comes, Johnny Vandal, the international champion, of course multiple-time former tag team champion with Tommy Vandal.
Yes.
This guy's been wrestling since 2001, currently ranked number 214 in the world.
This guy is just Mr. Energy from start to finish. This guy doesn't quit, doesn't stop. And I alluded to it earlier. Here's a good cross between old wrestling, new wrestling, high energy, a lot of high spots, but he can Donnie Book it with you. He can take you down to the mat and wrestle you. That's why he has the goal around his waist.
It also should be pointed out about Johnny Vandal, he's probably a much different wrestler right now than he will be when he returns to FOW at the end of the summer, integrating that Japanese style, possibly the Japanese strong style, really going to become more complete wrestler throughout the summer, but right now has to defend that gold against Jesse.
Absolutely. I did 2 tours of Japan in my early part of my wrestling career, and you do go over there and you wrestle so many different people and so many different styles, and they're so fast. I mean, you do get an education real quick, and you come back and you use that education.
Well, JR, let me ask you something. Obviously, not too many international superstars here in FOW. What's the language barrier like as you're competing with these other superstars, as you're, associating yourselves with them, immersing yourself in their culture?
Well, when I went to Japan, I was more worried about winning. I was a world heavyweight champion at the time for the IPWA years ago, and so everybody was looking to take the belt off of me. And I wrestled 7 nights in a row, and it was the toughest 7 nights. You fly over there, I don't care how many days of sleep you get, you're still jet lagged. And these guys can go, they can get, and it was tough. But there's so many different styles. I mean, you got the bigger Japanese wrestlers, and the smaller guys that are just unbelievably fast. So he's going to go over, he's going to get a great education, he's going to pick up some stuff, and he'll be a changed wrestler, as you indicated, when he comes back at the end of summer.
And I definitely look forward to seeing Johnny Vandal then. Hopefully, he will have a great match here tonight with Jesse Neal. Should be a great contest. A lot of people talking about this as possible match of the night with 2 more championships to go, championship matches rather to go. Definitely remains to be seen, but I would have to imagine here with Jesse Neal, a guy well-versed in not only singles competition, but tag team competition, in addition to Johnny Vandal. I do believe these two will have a great contest. Bell sounds, this one's underway. Referee Mike Oren is the official for this contest. The FOW International title is on the line. Johnny Vandal looking maybe to toy around with Jesse Neal early on. There's the collar and elbow tie-up to start.
Well, that's kind of smart, because as a champion, he doesn't have to win this match. As a champion, he doesn't have to win this match. If he takes it to the limit, Jesse Neal doesn't win the title, he keeps it. So really, Jesse Neal's the one that has to bring it tonight.
Well, that's a great point, JR. Of course, if Johnny Vandal gets disqualified or counted out, he would still retain that FOW championship, while Jesse Neal, in order to win that title, will need either a pinfall or submission victory over the current champion right there. Misses a kick into an arm drag right there by Johnny Vandal, and a reverse one right there by Jesse Neal. And these two exchanging some holds very early on. Neal grabs the side headlock into the shoulder tackle. These two well scouted to the top talents here in FOW. Neal calling for it. He's going to go off the ropes. Johnny Vandal goes for the hip toss, and there's a reversal. These two know each other very well. There's a forearm smash right there by Johnny Vandal, taking Jesse Neal to the floor.
I'm going to make the point again. Vandal doesn't have to win this match. He's the champion. Jesse Neal needs to get in the ring. He needs not to worry about the crowd. Doesn't have to worry about impressing anybody. He needs to get in there. He's only going to win the match when he's in the ring.
I wonder if Neal's sense of desperation will change. Shut up! You don't have to tell me twice.
Well, again, I'm just going to tell you, as a former world champion, former world tag team champion, you know, there was a lot of nights where I didn't feel like wrestling. They have to come and beat the champion. He needs to get in the ring, and he needs to beat Vandal for the championship. Coming over here and screaming in your face or my face and telling us to shut up ain't going to win the match.
And I was going to say, he really should keep his focus on the match, not us.
Exactly.
I would like that anyway. He certainly needs to worry about Johnny Vandal and then FOW International Championship. Of course, Jesse Neal right now trying to focus in on Johnny Vandal, and you almost wonder if everything else going on right now is kind of distracting Jesse Neal while he needs to focus on this title. I'm not sure he really senses the desperation in needing to win this championship tonight.
Well, again, I'm just going to point out the obvious. Even Stevie Wonder could see this. He's not going to win the championship outside the ring. He needs to get Vandal in there. I mean, he's inflicted some damage, but you know he's not going to win the match outside with the referee outside. Now the referee's out of position. I blame that on Neal. Neal should have been in the ring.
And Jesse Neal, a veteran guy, has been in the business a very long time. You'd think at this point he'd have those kind of things under control. Jesse Neal knows very well that Johnny Vandal, oh, look at the suplex right there by Neal, the high elevation. He knows very well in a few weeks that Johnny Vandal is going to Japan. He's going to be competing for 0-1 for a couple of months. And he knows if he does not win tonight, the entire FOW locker room is going to have a championship absent for the next 2 months.
Have you ever had a championship?
Not in the world of professional wrestling.
Okay, well, let me tell you something. When you got the gold around your waist, you got the cars, you got the money, you're eating at fancy restaurants. So if Jesse Neal doesn't win it tonight, I don't see another match in the future until at least Vandal comes back from Japan. He's going to be eating a lot of McDonald's hamburgers during the summertime.
He certainly would be, and Jesse Neal wants to work his way back up the ladder. There's a roll-up by Vandal, too, and a kick out by Jesse Neal. Nearly retained the title right there. But look
he basically took his head off.
With that stiff clothesline. Now,
I'm going to go back to the first match. I'm going to say it here again. The guy's down and prone. Cover him. He wasted about 10 seconds there.
Looks like Jesse Neal unnecessarily taking a page out of J-Dog's book and should not be worried about the crowd too much. There's a snapmare takeover and the rear chin lock trying to wear down Johnny Vandal. This is a solid move, though. Trying to suck the life out of Vandal. Obviously, we've talked about his speed and quickness. This will certainly alter that right here.
Well, again, we saw it in J-Dog's match. We're seeing it here, and I don't take anything away from J-Dog. Certainly nothing from Jesse Neal. He's made his mark. But do you know the difference between a champion and a non-champion? 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3.
Absolutely. As Jesse Neal wants to gain his first taste of FOW gold. This is a guy, obviously, we've talked about, been in the business for a while, in the national spotlight with TNA Wrestling for a long time, been trained by the Dudley Boys. This guy's really been able to make a name for himself throughout the first few years of his career, and what a feather in the cap the FOW International title would be. Just yanks Johnny Vandal's hair right down, and Jesse Neal looks like he's taking a page out of the wrong playbook tonight.
Well, again, I don't know where the focus might not be. It's not in the ring. He just wasted another 10, 12 seconds, and this guy's great. I don't take anything away from Jesse Neal, but if you're going to be champion, you're going to be championship caliber. You need to stay on top of your guy.
And if you see Neal right there, gets a 2.5 on the near fall. If he didn't waste those 10 seconds, we're probably looking at a new champ.
That's right.
Neal right now worried too much about what the crowd's got to think. He's measuring Johnny Vandal up. He's in the corner. Neal trying to build some momentum coming from the opposite side. There's the charge and the miss. And the reverse. Down goes Jesse Neal. Johnny Vandal hopefully has an opening he needs right now.
This is where Vandal needs to suck it up as a champion. I've seen him do it a lot of times. He needs to really suck it up and get up.
As we pointed out, Johnny Vandal, former tag team champion here in FOW with the current heavyweight champion, Tommy Vandal.
Well, this is what separates the men from the boys, the non-champions and the champions.
As you see right now, Johnny Vandal trying to struggle to his feet as Neal gets there first. Both men back up to a vertical base, and the forearm smash is going. Johnny Vandal.
He's rocking him.
He's picked up the intensity, and there's the drop kick. And a leg lariat. Johnny Vandal now up the pace. Vandal pointing at Jesse Neal, trying to get the crowd behind him. The FOW International Champion. Oh, he just a snap off of Rana. I don't know if he got them all. And he's going to try to pin him right here. 1, 2. That's going to get 2.5. Once again, a near fall there for Johnny Vandal.
That was close. But again, I'm going to point out, look how quick Johnny Vandal's back on top of Jesse. I mean, this is what makes a true champion. You stay on top of your guy. Well, he's taking a little respite now, but it looks like he's sizing him up.
Two of the top veterans here in FOW. Oh! And Johnny Vandal goes for the springboard elbow and walks right into a lung blower by Jesse Neal. Both men are down. Who can get to their feet first? The FOW International title hanging in the balance. Both men back up to the feet at the same time.
Really surprised he got back to his feet.
The haymaker by Neal, no good. Or rather by Vandal. Oh! And he looks like he's picking him up for a back body drop. Drops him face first, too.
That would have been a 3 count. The referee was out of the position. That would have been a 3 count.
The referee out of position once again. And look at the face of Jesse Neal. He's absolutely shocked.
I'm sure he was frustrated. He thought he had him.
Really thought he might have been able to pull that one out of his cap. Neal climbs to his feet. He's pointing at the crowd.
Again, I'm not going to state the obvious. He's a great wrestler. He's made his mark, but he needs to be over on top of Tommy Vandal. He's the champion. The champion has to be beat. He has to be pinned.
Neal with the charge. He misses, and Johnny Vandal got into a cutter. Johnny Vandal.
That might be it.
Cutter. 2, 3.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen.
He got him, and Johnny Vandal retains the FOW International title.
What an unbelievable match. But I'm going to make another point. It's the same point I've been saying. Jesse Neal had him beat. Jesse Neal had that championship around his waist. He started flying with the crowd, gave just enough time for Vandal to get his win, and that was all she wrote.
Multiple instances, as you pointed out, JR, where Jesse Neal could have tasted gold. Johnny Vandal sees the opportunity, nails him with the cutter, and you see right there, Johnny Vandal, the FOW International Champion, and he will take that gold with him to Japan for his 2-month tour with 0-1 Wrestling.
I hope Jesse Neal has a McDonald's card because that's all he'll be eating this summer.